I just happened to go the second or third day I landed up in Bhuj because I was already doing a very Bollywood-based project with a Channel 4 team here, and the camera person was asked to go and cover this, and I went with him. And a lot of what I saw there, particularly the kind of uh, media frenzy and the kind of requirement that every disaster seems to build around it, I felt a bit sort of sick of that. And then I went back after about 15 days. I was sort of throughout kind of trying to fight the desire to make anything, you know, very solid out of it. I wanted it to just remain as a sense of life, as just very diverse points of view, very, people doing what they are doing. And yeah, I think, I mean, it came also a lot from uh, my own kind of queries about what documentary should be and uh, how it should be. How far can you actually be there without actually intruding on someone? So I don't say that I have solved it, but I tried very hard to do that.
I was saying that for me, that's really the strength of the film. The fact that the way you shot it, where you let things happen in front of you, and of course you shot what you wanted to shoot, and as it happened in front of you, uh, and that feeling of the way it was shot, which actually really allows the humanity of people to come through, was also very much there in the final edit. So the edit also feels like that, but obviously a lot of work must have gone into that, because it's to preserve that feeling and to bring it out like this in the edit. So I wonder if you can talk a little bit about your editing process. What you know Even when do you decide to stop, because this film could have gone on and on.
Yeah.
And also about how you put it together.
Initially, like I said, I tried editing it with a couple of very good friends of mine who always work with me, and I know I trust them. But I found that I was not really able to edit it with them because all said and done, they were professional editors and they came with a certain, attitude towards how to edit a documentary or how to edit this, and they immediately started putting it into boxes which I was very certain that this should not be. And like actually, I edited this. It took me about 10 months to edit this because I kept struggling with it in terms of, I had about 100 hours of footage. And I struggled with it a lot, actually. I think finally I edited it almost like, as if I were writing something. So it just sort of jumps from one idea to another, and it jumps in time, and it just goes. The only thing I think that I was very lucky to get, which I had never planned on getting, is Jagdish and his wife Geeta, which became such a powerful love story for me. I mean, it's such a powerful love story, and their whole journey, staying for almost 1 year in a tent and then shifting to this temporary thing, in fact, in many ways helped to, give it a kind of a form. But the rest is like, I don't know, it's like associate. Like Pankaj just told me that I think it's like, I don't even know how your mind is working. Why are you editing from one thing to another? It's like really, it was really like writing something, I think now, because it's some random idea which I associate with something else and it goes on to that. So yeah, I'm also seeing this after a long time, so I'm quite surprised at myself also.
No, I think it's extremely well edited, because that's
Yeah.
the whole quality which gets preserved.
Yeah.
And I also feel that there is a progression in time
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
there. Though, as you said, within that it jumps back and forth
Yeah.
sometimes.
I would like to thank you. He's the person I'm in love with, and he suffered that. He was in Gandhidham at that point of time.
Okay.
He narrated the whole incident, and today he's like, okay, let's go. There's this screening. I'll show you, how it felt. So it's really special.
Thank you so much for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Now, how is it that you, I mean, like you need to absorb their emotion and as well as not get stuck there? I mean, you can't do everything for them. You can't build a house immediately for them and all. How do you manage this? Because
Yeah, it's very difficult because I mean after I made this film and then I was showing it around, I went to Yamagata, I went to Paris, and it's difficult. It feels very odd, because it's at the end of the day you just make a film and uh, I don't know, it's difficult.
Okay. If there's no other questions or comments, thanks very much,
Thank
Batul.
you. Thank you.